This next award for the work in San Filippo has a special significance for me. About a year and a half ago, I was approached through a friend to help a friend of theirs who was an investment banker in New York who discovered that he had a rare form of ataxia, which itself is a rare disease. And he was hoping to use what time he had left to fund research to perhaps help his life, but certainly to help his children who had the same situation in their future. This was really difficult to find anybody who knew that much about SCA13, a very rare form of a rare disease. And in the course of working with people from both coasts, from Yale, from University of California, San Francisco, with people in England, time and again we came back to the work of the people who were studying the San Filippo. And that work is going to lead, we hope, to helping people in this rare world live a better life and avoid the neurodegeneration that comes with the condition. When Stuart and Jennifer Seidman first began funding research to cure this condition in their son, I don't know if they had any idea what could grow from it. Because not only did this family start something wonderful, but the Children's Medical Research Foundation and the San Filippo Children's Research Foundation, working with National Children's Hospital, have now done something that I personally am working on in my current job, which is to allow people who care to invest in companies that are working on things that the traditional venture capital community ignores. Patients are the first source of passion. They're the first source of passion capital. For decades, that passion capital has only been philanthropy, but when you get to the point of needing someone to make a drug or do a trial, you often will need a company, and companies need money to be able to do it. And as a result of the work with the Nationwide Children's Hospital and the family and the people that are involved at Abeona Therapeutics, there is now hope that San Filippo disease can be addressed through a series of clinical trials, many of which will be funded by investments from patients, which is a whole new model that is not just for this group, but is now, starting this coming week, available to Americans all over the country to be able to put their money where their passions are. Because at the end of the day, that is what we're all trying to do. Health is our greatest asset. We each invest in it in the way we live, we invest in it in the way we donate, and now we can invest in it directly and turn the health into an asset we can hand our children if the children is in a family with a rare disease. So the work of Abeona Therapeutics, the Nationwide Children's Hospital, and the many, many San Filippo Syndrome foundations is now coming, we hope, to fruition, led by the work that Abeona is going to be doing, letting patients invest in trials. So please join me in honoring this year's Champion of Hope Award for Collaborations in Advocacy, Collaborations in Advocacy, the San Filippo Collaborative. Accepting on behalf of the entire collaborative is Tim Miller, the CEO of Abeona Therapeutics. Yes, of course.
Can we get these guys in too?
One more picture.
Come on. And you should hold this too. No. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, on behalf of the foundations dedicated to finding a cure for San Filippo syndrome and the researchers and clinicians at Nationwide Children's Hospital and Abeona Therapeutics, we gratefully thank Global Genes for their recognition as a champion of hope in patient advocacy. And inspiration often strikes us at the oddest times. And I found myself on the flight here watching the in-flight movie. And its relevance kind of struck me particularly. And is there anything you wouldn't do for your family? The villainous Khan asks Captain Kirk in the newest Star Trek movie. And this is set against the backstory where in the beginning of the movie we see a father sacrifice everything in the hopes of bringing his sick daughter a cure. And it struck me that even hundreds of years in the future, for a movie, we still are struggling to find a cure for some of these rare diseases. We need to change that vision. And so children like Ben Richardson and Chloe Key, kids with San Filippo that are fighting for their very lives this week, have access to some of these breakthrough therapies. And much like the crew of the Enterprise, we're all on a journey to seek out new therapies and bring them to families struggling to cope with the effects of these devastating diseases. It's with the help and support of the foundations, the parents, the hospitals, NIH, and the larger pharmaceutical companies that we're able to champion new approaches to find cures. And we hope that our collaboration demonstrates how multiple advocates with the same goal of finding a cure can come together effectively to accelerate development of novel therapies. And we're stronger together than we are alone. And as a result of our relationship, we're moving these therapies, these gene therapies, into the clinic in 2014. So thank you, Global Genes. Thank you for the recognition of these efforts and for helping us advocate for Sanfilippo syndrome. Thank you.